Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Denanu, and I'm the man with black privilege. And with this video here, we're going to be talking about Star Wars, Rise of the Skywalker. And just to throw it all out there, I'm not somebody who hates on the new movies because they're not the older movies. I thought Force Awakens was pretty good, nice throwback movie. I wasn't a fan of, what was the last one? Last Jedi? Definitely not a fan of that one. Not for the reasons that most people were. My biggest problems with that was just because the story that they were telling just didn't really seem like it lined up with The Force Awakens. But I heard that one had like a different director, so that's probably why that one went its own way. This one, from what I'm hearing, is made from the guy who made Force Awakens. I think it's J.J. Abrams. Don't quote me. I don't keep track and follow directors all that much, but I think he's making this one, and he made The Force Awakens. He didn't make the second one in this newer, I guess you can say, Rey and Finn trilogy, so to speak. And with this one here, judging from a lot of things I'm seeing in the trailer, this looks like it's, I guess, trying to fix and retcon, the problems with the second, Rey Finn movie. You had Kylo fixing his helmet, because I think that was destroyed in one of the movies. I think it was the second one, but don't quote me, I can't be sure. I think the biggest thing, like, the second one was so much a blur to me. All I remember was that shitty casino scene, and then the scene at the end when Rey and Finn were fighting with each other, and then they teamed up, and then they took out Snoke like a little bitch. That's all I remember about the last movie. That and Luke Skywalker and him not wanting to train Rey. Or train Rey, rather. And I don't know if this is kind of retconning that, because in the trailer, it's Luke Skywalker narrating it, and he says that, oh, you have 1,000 years of teaching in you, or something like that. Like, we trained you all we could. And I'm like, when? You didn't train her. That was the whole point of the last movie, right? But maybe she read some of those ancient Jedi texts, whatever magical MacGuffin was in those. But I could have sworn Luke burned him, in the last movie too. So I don't know how much time has passed since the last movie and this one. I'm assuming maybe it can't be too long. I'm assuming 6 months to a year. But it's one of those things where it's like she was never trained. Now maybe they're gonna flip that around and be like, well, maybe she was like Darth Vader, like Anakin Skywalker. Maybe he was so nice with the Force that they was like, look, we can't train this dude because he will be a beast. And, maybe, Rey's the same way. Maybe by not training her, she has to figure it out by herself, and then she'll be more powerful because of it. Versus, let's say, training her down one specific path. Maybe they want her to be like at her strongest or something. I don't know. But apparently with this trailer, I guess she's with Finn and the others. They're on another desert planet, and I guess she's getting found by the First Order and by wannabe Darth Vader kid. I forget his name. Oh man, I hate his character with a passion. I loved him in The Force Awakens before he took off his helmet. I will say that though. But ever since he took off his helmet, I was like, oh, now you're a whining bitch. I don't mean to be cursing because I'm trying to get away from doing that in my videos, but it's just, that's how I feel about his character. He should have been like Vader. He was so badass before he took off his helmet. Then he had that little whining scene of him in the room tearing shit up. Didn't like that either. But to get back on topic here, I think they can do a whole lot with this movie, because I know a lot of people didn't like The Last Jedi. A lot of people. And they could do one of two things. They can either continue with that storyline, which I don't think a lot of people are gonna like, since they didn't, they obviously didn't gel with it, or they can just kind of fix major problems with it and then tell the story they're trying to tell. And that's what I think they're gonna do, because there's like a bunch of little key hit things that I'm seeing with this movie. It's like, okay, well, or just seeing it in the trailer, it's you can tell that they're hitting certain beats and they're trying to let people know, like, hey, look, we're fixing this shit. You know, they want it to succeed. They don't want it to be, you know, none of the Star Wars movies are flops by any means, but they wanted to be like the Marvel movies. They wanted to make billions and billions of dollars. So I think outing the last director and bringing in, you know, back the original guy, I don't know why they didn't just have J.J. Abrams make the whole entire trilogy. It would make more sense. Cohesively, because most directors want to do their own thing, and that was probably the reason why the second one went so far off the rails of what they wanted to do. Or it could have just been somebody up in Disney was like, look, we want to make this movie like this, so we're gonna get, you know, hire a director that's gonna do that. And then they realized that they fucked up with that, so it could be that too. I know Solo was another movie that kind of flopped for him, where it was nobody liked it. I seen Solo, I thought it was an okay movie. Did I want Han Solo backstory to be told? Hell no. You know, why do you gotta tell Han Solo's backstory? Nobody wanted that movie, you know. Not because he's a really cool character and we wanted to know more about him, but you have to do Solo a certain way. You know, you have to put him in that vein of Star Wars where it's kind of like how The Mandalorian is doing it, where they're trying to make like a gritty Western, no Republic rules type scenario. That's where they got to put Han Solo. And going in from jump, we're going to go with a young actor. This is his first story. He's not going to be Harrison Ford. It's that movie already had a lot of negatives behind it. So a lot of people didn't, you know, make that, or not didn't make it, didn't like it. And I think with that movie, that alone should have been like, maybe we shouldn't tell this story, you know. But they did it anyway. People didn't like it. And between that and I think The Last Jedi, they was like, oh, okay, maybe we can't just put out anything we want. You know, we have to kind of tailor make a story that fits in line with what fans want. And that's what I'm hoping this movie is. I'm not hyped for the new Star Wars movie because that, you know, The Last Jedi kind of killed that for me. You know, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I'm somebody who, I've read a few books. I've seen all the movies. Played most of the games. I'm a fan of the material, but I'm not like a super diehard fan. And even with me, it's one of those things where it's like you kind of killed my enjoyment from Star Wars after watching The Last Jedi. Because this new trilogy of movies, I find them to be okay, but it's not the story that I want. Like, bring me like old Luke Skywalker, jaded as fuck. You know, do like an old man Logan story with him, where it's just him and he's still trying to do what he do. You know, by being like an old Jedi master and shit, trying to train a young, you know, trying to train Rey or something. Like, give me that's the story I want, and having them take down the Empire. But I guess it's one of those things where they want new, younger actors to be the face of the franchise. And it's like, I don't mind that. I just feel like they have to get there. And I don't think I think they're forcing it. You know, give me like old Luke, old Leia, old Han Solo. One last, like, that's what I thought Force Awakens was going to be. I thought it was going to be like their last movie and them taking down the Empire. And then it's like, okay, the remnants of the Empire are left. Now it's the kids' turn to step up. That's what I thought that movie was going to be. And I guess it was to a point, but more of that movie was about Rey and Finn. Rey and Finn, I have, you know, just to jump on a Star Wars tangent real quick, I don't see why they're not the same character. Why do you have, if you have Rey, why do you have Finn? Finn serves no purpose. I thought Finn was going to be the Han Solo of these new movies, but no, that's Dameron, or the pilot guy. So why is Finn even here? He's like the one character I don't get. Like, if you made him the main character and made him the Jedi, fine, okay. You know, I mean, then he has a purpose. But you already have Rey doing that. So if that's her character, why do you have Finn? You know, why circle around these two main characters? I don't get it. It's like you wanted to have a black main character, but then you changed your mind at the last minute, but you still hired the guy, so you had to do something for him. You know, it's like, why not just make a black Jedi? You know, everybody liked the last one. It was Samuel Jackson. Why not have a new one? But that's beside the point. With this new movie, honestly, like I said, I can't say I'm hyped. I'm just hoping they get their shit together. You know, at the end of the day, I don't know how they're gonna wrap up this trilogy, because so far you don't have a main bad guy. You know, I guess you can say Kylo Ren is the main bad guy, whiny Darth Vader, but I'm sorry, in my eyes, he's not the main bad guy. He's the bad guy's henchman. His Lieutenant Riker, his number one. You know, he's not. You know, he's what's this? You know, he's no Palpatine. You know, Darth Vader was the guy running shit for Palpatine. Like, there's no main bad guy. That's what I thought Snoke was going to be, and I guess that's what everybody thought in the last movie. But then they killed him off in the most weakest way. I figured they were going to do something when I seen that, because he's a big CGI character, so they're not going to show him like fighting anybody. You know, he was way too big for that. But it's just one of those things where it's like, you killed him off in the most bitch way possible, so who's gonna be the guy leading the Empire? Is it gonna be Kylo Ren? I'm guessing, because in this new trailer they had laughing at the end, so I don't know if that was Snoke or if that was Palpatine. Maybe they're bringing Palpatine back, you know? I mean, hell, he fell down a pit, but hey, so did Darth Maul. He lived. You know, he got some bionic legs, and, you know, maybe Palpatine could do the same thing. Maybe he can use the Force lightning to power his lower extremities, you know? So I'm guessing maybe Palpatine could be running things behind the scenes. But then, you know, if that's the case, why was Snoke there, you know? But maybe that's just them course correcting. It was like, okay, people didn't like Snoke, people don't like Kylo Ren, so let's just bring in somebody they do like. You know, maybe that could be the thing, but we won't know until the movie comes out, or until we see more trailers and everything. Something else I wanted to say about it, it definitely does have that epic feel that Star Wars normally has. I know when watching The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, I didn't really feel it, except until the end when they was all shooting at Luke Skywalker on that one red desert planet that they were fighting on. But just watching the trailer about this new movie, it's kind of, you can definitely, it does take those dramatic pauses to be epic. Like when Rey's standing there in the desert and she's like sensing the whatever his X-Wing, well, not X-Wing, TIE fighter thing is called. She's like sensing it before it gets to her, and then she turns around and sees it and does her little Spider-Man jump. You know, her spider sense kicks in and she just jumps out the way. But it does have that epic feel. They're bringing back what's his name, Lando, you know, Mr. Coke 45 himself, Billy D. Williams, and I think that's pretty cool. That's a nice little throwback to, you know, him getting his ship back and stuff like that, because that's always been a thing between him and Han Solo. I think they even make a mention to it in the newer movie as well, in Solo's movie. But they also have this other little robot that's there seemingly for no reason, because you already have BB-8, and BB-8 was fucking awesome. So I guess the only reason I could see them having, it seems like they want to sell toys, so it's like, give this movie a creature, because like Last Jedi had this little animal creature thing that was around the ship that hung out with Chewie. So now it's BB-8 and this other little thing, you know. It's like, you know, they're trying to make another BB-8, and it's like, okay, I get it, it's cool, but we don't need it. We got BB-8, we got, you know, C-3PO, we got R2, so it's like, okay, that's enough. We don't need a different character every fucking movie, Disney. Outside of that, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot else I can say about it. I mean, the movie, it looks decent. I'm hoping they fix all those problems that came with The Last Jedi, but outside of that, definitely can't tell where the story is going to go. Definitely can't predict what's going to happen, because they don't show you a whole lot, but I'm guessing by the time we get the second and third movie trailers come out, we're going to know a whole lot more. So anyways, guys, my name is Dananu, and I'm the man with the most biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.